simply my kind of videos.
How y'all doing tonight? This is Papa Will. Welcome to the Sunday night continuous of our show from 2 days ago. We're going to continue learning more about where we come from, why some of us might even figure out why we act the way we do towards each other. But first of all, I want to say salute to Toothless Tiger. I was just in her chat. She and I, we both have a lot of the same information and knowledge about where we all come from, and that why we're in the situation that we're in. Like she said some things that I totally 100% agree that we as indigenous people, now not all of us ancestors are swarthy people from this continent, but those of us that are, all of us look the same to those who won the war of we can continue to be the indigenous people that we were. We all grew up watching Cowboys and Indians, or you've heard about the story about Cowboys and Indians, and we all grew up thinking that the Indians were the bad guy because the white man was killing them. But in essence, what we now know is we were the Cowboys. The white man wasn't no cowboy. We was the Cowboys. They called us, cowboys because we herded cows, cowboy, herding cows. But we were also the natives, the indigenous people of this continent. And just so that you know, I'm not saying this off the top of my head. I actually have, background information from some people you wouldn't believe.
StreamYard offers affordable plans that allow you to open up even more features to make your live streams really stand out from the crowd. StreamYard, live streaming made simple.
Says it is from these French provinces that originated the refugees who came to Virginia. And though it is not known from what localities all of them came, some few are known to have been natives of towns and provinces as follows. It says the family of Imbert came from Nimes, lower Languedoc. And whoever knows about Languedoc, southern France, this part of France, that was Moorish from way back, like way, way back. It was part of the Iberian kingdom and the Moorish kingdom. So even before the Huguenots were there, that was all Moors. So these Huguenots went there, even when they got expelled. Well, when they, we're gonna see the origin of the Huguenots, who they were. So I'm actually going ahead of here, but this place was a Moorish place from ancient times and Europe. All right. It says the history of the Huguenots written for the American Sunday School. It says of the family we said was a settler at Town, Virginia. Town, Virginia. All right. From Matouban in Guyenne came Antoine Tarbet. So from Guyenne. So see, there's a place in France called Guyenne. 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 You can say this Guyenne, Guyane, Guyane, Guinea, Guyenne. A place in France called Guinea. Guinea. Guiani, Guiani came Antoine Trabe, a Huguenot, in 1687, also one of the settlers of the James River. He died in January 1724. Also from Guiani, Guiani, Louis Latag went to Virginia, and for over 30 years was minister of South Birmingham Parish, Essex County, Virginia. He was a man of blameless life and devoted to the work of the ministry. From London and Poitou come Jacob Pierre and Matthew Amonet, chiefs de familles de London, 1634. Jacob Amonet was one of the settlers of Mannequin Town, right? Mannequin Town. I know you guys know, have heard about that. The birthplace of
Mountain.
Olivier, yeah, the Mannequin, yeah, exactly. That was a place actually named after the Mannequin Indians. All right, so it says the birthplace of Oliver de la Muse, the founder of the settlement at Mannequin Town, was not far from Nantes in Brittany. Here was the seat of the noble house of La Muse Pontus. David, his son Caesar, and his grandson Olivier. Soon after the revocation of the Edict of Nantes, Olivier de la Muse attempted to flee from France, but was arrested on the island of Ré. He was imprisoned in La Rochelle and Nantes, where every effort was made to persuade him to abjure, but without success, so he was finally expelled from France as a dangerous heretic. He was sent to England, from where he later came to Virginia on the Mary Ann in 1700. All right, the Mary Ann is a ship. All right. Also, a native of Nantes in Brittany was Paul Michal, who came to Virginia from England. From England, all right. So it's a French coming from England. All right, he might have been listed. Remember, they became American or British, right? They were starting to name themselves American or British. They were hiding their Huguenot history and settled on the Rappahannock in Essex County. Claude Philippe de Richebourg, the first minister of the Huguenot settlement in Virginia, came not came from Saint Sever in the province of Berry. Owing to disputes in his parish, he moved in 1707 with a number of his adherents to the Carolinas and was a pastor of the French church in Charleston. He died in 1719. It says the Mannequin Town from Port des Barquis came Jacques Bilbot to Mannequin Town, right? Jean Bilbot Reconnaît, Metelet, sa femme, oh, that's French, 4,000 livres, fled from Port de Bargues in 1681 to England. Jacques Billot, or Bilboa, right? You see that? Balboa, Bilboa, Billabut. You see what I was saying earlier about the surnames, right? So Billabut, Bilboa, or Balboa in Spain, Balboa, Bilbot, or Bilebo, all the same. These are Huguenots, right? AKA Huguenots. One of the inhabitants of Mannequin Town, 1700 1723, was doubtless of the same family. At South BC was born Jean Pennetier, Jacques Pennetier, fugitive de Soubise. John Pennetier, naturalized in England, March 1682. Pennetier, one of the settlers of Mannequin Town, Virginia, 1700. Chatelis in Saintonge was the birthplace of Jacques Fontaine. the Huguenot pastor, ancestor of the American families of Fontaine and Maury. All right, Maury, the Maury families, Huguenots. All right, plans and propaganda for the emigration of Huguenots to America. As has been said, the Huguenots fled from France in increasing numbers after the revocation of the Edict of Nantes, principally to the Switzerland, Holland, and England. All right, they were in all these countries. Many of them by reason of the privileges extended to them in these countries. Why did they have privileges in these countries? Think about that and remember that. Others, however, of more adventurous spirit or desirous of obtaining even more freedom, left these countries for America. But even after the great exodus in 1685, there had been a steady stream of partisans from France, beginning with the earliest days of their persecution. Several colonies were set up in America, some ending in failure, while others were more successful. It was but natural that many should be attracted to the English colonies of America, where they knew they would find many of their own religion or political ideas, right? And of which they had heard such inviting accounts of profitable trade and of lands of rich and agricultural promise, all right? A promised land, all right? A promised land. To encourage this inclination of the Huguenots towards America, as well as that of others who were looking with longing eyes towards this promised land, like I just said, towards this promised land. So the Huguenots coming here for what? Because they know it was a promised land, right? If you
But who
travelers,
promised them this land is the question.
I'm, I'm sorry,
I said, who promised them this land?
exactly. Who's promising this land and helping them come over here? Why are they getting all these privileges in these other countries? Who's granting them all this land? Why? If they were getting rid of them, why are they granting them land in America? That's a very good question. All right, in the promised land. A few travelers of the period wrote in glowing terms of what they had seen and gave much publicity to their works, which became intentionally or not propaganda for attracting new colonists to America. Propaganda to get colonists to come to America. William Fitzhugh, as has been said, has tried to interest Hayward in sending French refugees to his lands, which later came to be known as Ravensworth. But he met with no success in that quarter. So he offered the lands himself in 1686, saying that for the French Protestants, I have convenient and good land enough to seat 150 or 200 families upon one divided, uh, what does it say, which contains 21,996 acres. All right, you hear how much acres this guy has? Is this like real? One guy has all these acres. Whose acres did he take? Whose land did he take to gain all this? And who took it? Who gave him the right? Which I will either sell them in fee of £7 sterling for every 100 acres, or else lease it to them for 3 lives, paying 20 shillings per annum for every 100 acres. The land I offer lies within a mile and a half of the Potomac River and of the two both navigable creeks. All right, you see, he's a Huguenot. He got all this land from the vestry book of King William's Parish, Virginia, 1707 1750. We learned that as early as 1683, Baron de Sancy seated a colony on the lower James, having obtained permission from the English government to establish a colony of Huguenots in Virginia. The settlement was made in what is now Nansemond County, then known as Sutton Hundred. This was evidently not very favorable location for a colony, and no records of it have been discovered. Hmm. From the same source, we learned that in the year 1687, 600 Huguenots came to Virginia, and that it is very probable that some of those settled on the lands offered by William Fitzhugh, some in Stafford and some in Spotsylvania. So we see that all through the 17th century, Virginia was constantly receiving the refugees from France in large numbers and small, the number reaching its peak in 1700, when about 800 came over, many of whom settled at Mannequin Town. It is these settlers who will now be our chief concern, it says here. And it says chapter 4, the settlement of Huguenots in Mannequin Town. And it says, up James River is a colony of French refugees who at Mannequin Town live happily under our government, enjoying their own language and customs. Their own language and customs. We're going to see what that is towards the end of the video, what it really was. I know you're thinking French and Protestant right now. The settlement of Huntington's and Mannequin Town says plans for emigration had long been in the minds of those Huguenots who sailed from England in the year 1700. Plans which had been in the making for about 2 years and which had been changed many times. Much had been done in London to encourage and aid in going into America. All right, they were encouraging this to go to America. Those who had become interested in so doing, since many of the refugees had come to England with few or none of their possessions and constantly required financial aid until they could establish themselves profitably. They required what? Financial aid. What does that mean? It means indentured servitude. That's the only financial aid they're going to get, indentured servitude or a land grant, depending on their status and their connections and their money. Disbursements were made to those needing money from the Protestant Relief Fund, a Protestant relief fund to get people to come to America. Listen to this. And it was from this fund that many were enabled to come to Virginia. They had a fund for these Protestants to come to Virginia. Records in the Library of Goodhall in London give an account of these disbursements. As for example, in June 1700, the sum of 38 pounds was given to Mon Benjamin de Jubes, minister appointed to go to Virginia. Later in August of the same year, a request for 20 pounds was made for M. Castaigne, one of the physicians among the refugees bound for Virginia. Later, still in the same year, requests were made for money for such Vaudois and French refugees as designed to settle in Virginia. Hmm. Much was done also in regard to actually finding them land in America where they could settle. Negotiations had first been made with Daniel Cox, proprietary of Carolina and Florida, for purchasing land in Florida. The second objective had been Carolina. Letters in regard to the third plan indicate that land of the Nansemond River in Norfolk County had been designated as their destination. When the plans were finally carried out and four ships sailed to Virginia carrying them seven and 800 Huguenots, Mannequin Town on the James River was to be the final destination for many of them. All right. Although those who came over in the first ship expected to settle in Norfolk County, Mannequin Town, the place chosen for the Huguenot settlement, was the site of a deserted village of the Monacan Indians, 20 miles above Richmond. So really, so they went into a deserted Monacan town and took over the whole town, right? Why did the Monacan desert their town though in the first place?
The old school history books tell us that they probably died off from disease and all that from the Huguenots and everything.
Oh, okay, so yeah, school books would probably tell us that the mannequins caught some disease and they disappeared and were extinct and blah blah blah, right? But in reality, they either got enslaved as indentured servants for these Huguenots, relocated to other lands and other states, reservations, or they again assimilated into their families, married into the indigenous people, and they became the mannequin. You know, a slight digression. Oh, I'm saying this for a reason. All right, we're going to see that later on. So it says a slight digression will be made here in order to give some data concerning the Monacan Indians who had villaged on the site which later was used for the settlement of the Huguenot refugees. The Monacans, the word is possibly an Algonquin one signifying a digging stick or spade, were a tribal confederacy of Virginia in the 17th century, who lived on the land of the upper waters of the James River above the falls at Richmond. They were allies of the Manahoac and enemies of the Powhatans, and their language differed from that of both of these tribes. They were finally incorporated with other remnants under the names of Saponi and Tutelo. All right. The settlements of the Monacans proper was known to the whites as Monacan Town. In 1669, they still had about 30 bowmen and 100 souls. All right.
Big
So
up to the Saponi out there.
yep, yep. Shout out to Saponi to Telo nations. And so they're letting us know that in 1669 there were still mannequin people there. So what do you mean there was a deserted town? They just contradicted themselves. Francis Louis Michael, in the report of his journey from Bern, Switzerland to Virginia, October 2, 1701, it says, makes some interesting statements regarding these Indians. He says that the soil at Mannequin Town is black and heavy. Is black and heavy. Black. The soil is what? Black. Black soil. When I say black soil, black land to you, black soil, what comes to your mind right now?
Black and heavy almost sounds like Ta and Mary.
To marry, exactly. There you go. So yeah, the etymology of Kemet. If you don't know Kemet, when you go, if you look at it right now, if you go look at it, Kemet, the real etymology is basically black soil, a fertile black land, fertile soil, black soil. Again, he says that the soil at Mannequin Town is black and heavy, and so the Indians had reason to choose this place. All right, it was fertile. That was their place. That's why they were there. Today there is a red rough stone. Now there's a red rough stone. What did these Huguenots do? Now it looks like Egypt, modern Egypt, they're saying. Red rough stone, standing 4 feet high out of the ground, where at certain times they, the Indians, held religious services, as they supposed about 30 years ago. They still dwell there. But when they inflicted some injury upon the Christians, Claude Bourne, who was then living on the frontier, namely at Fallens Creek, Fallen Creek, mounted one of his company and attacked the Indians boldly. He soon overcame them and put all of them to the sword, also destroyed their settlement and whatever they owned. So you see what happened to them, right? Indentured servants, most likely. As has been stated, 4 ships came to Virginia, bringing the refugees. The first of these 4 ships, the Marianne, and brought to Virginia July 1700, 207 men, women, and children. Many of these went to Mannequin Town. The pastor Claude Philip de Richburg was among these, as well as the Marquise de la Muse and de Sally. On the second ship, the Peter and Anthony, which arrived in Virginia about September 20, 1700, there were 169 refugees. On board this ship was Benjamin de Jukes, who was the pastor. So de Jukes, de Jew, Benjamin de Jukes, right? Dodge the hijack, who was their pastor, right? And was also the real founder and leader of the whole settlement of Mannequin Town. Oh, the founder and settler, this de Jew. In order to ensure that Huguenots would live happily in Virginia and to encourage colonization by them, they were accorded special privileges. 10,000 acres of land were donated to them. Okay? 10,000 acres of land donated to them. The best of the James River. The best on the James River, 20 miles above Richmond, being the deserted village of the Monacan Indians, a fertile.
Take it off slow. I like Victoria's Secrets, but I won't be without your clothes. Now light all the candles and baby let me pour the wine. Let's kick a groove to some old school sound. Some Marvin Gaye will do just fine. So you got a body feel like a fantasy. Let me embrace you. I wanna taste you until it comes naturally. Let me be me, the one you love. Oh, I wanna do the sweetest things to you, sweet lady. Let's sing it. but a boss player like all my friends. I've been riding since the beginning of getting my ends. Took a stop at the green light, wipe off my rims, beat the shit out of any nigga that honk in my Benz. It's on, nigga, we roam like spent phones. You can tell that the East Bay is my home. The way I spit these ebonics and pop my motherfucking collar. We don't fall down, but me and the homies might squabble. Love each other like brothers, so we ride for one another. With one foot in the grave and the other one in the gutter. It's the motherfucking boss, I'm riding at all costs. And if I fall that I carry you, break your wig off, break your back, boy. Bring you your motherfucking hat, boy. We hitting corners, leaving motherfuckers flat, boy. You get a hole in your chest without the vet. I just purchased a Desert Eagle from Johnny West. Niggas is tripping cause he gave me the gun. Saying why you get that big old pistol to Spice One. Bang, bang, go. See why they getting pissed out to Vinny Chico. Bang, bang, bang. Hit him up with them heaters, but send me do me third thing. Bang, bang, go. See why they getting pissed out to Vinny Chico. Bang, bang. Hit him up with them heaters, but send me do me third thing. Johnny West ready to pack another clip. Lock it low, why don't you take another hit? When you're sick and I'll be creeping, ready to take your cash. Thought you was a baller, now you're ballin' like an asshole. Just Eagles got a strap, lay you on your fucking back. Pop a collars, all the laces, fuck the track. Thought you was riding, got you crying like a little bitch. Angelic witness in the back, about to dig your fucking dick. Try to ride with Star Life, you sippin' fella, fella shit. Fuck don't let my boy Tino G riggedy off and fucking lip. Bang, bo. See why them getting pissed out to Vinny Chico. Bang, bang. Hit him up with them heaters, but send me do me third thing. Bang, bo. See why them getting pissed out to Vinny Chico. Bang.
You're all a bunch of fucking assholes. You know why? You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You need people like me, so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
With my forehead.
You need people like me, so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
Up in California, ayy. Real niggas from the Bay. From Frisco to San Jose, we on a paper chase. Looking ahead for better days. From the cradle to the grave. We mob for it, partner by the dock of the bay. I'm on the block with the Glock, still copping the yay. And you don't really need the vest, cause you'll get popped in the face. I'm on some old 89 shit, rocking the bass. I'm on a paper chase, trying to stuff a knot in the safe. And keep the pistols by my waist and pop the knot in the safe. I'm like the Raspberry Bonds, puffing Blueberry Bond. And I'm a ball like LeBron, stack chips like Sean John. It's all official blood, young thugs hustle for life. Not really tripping off the consequences, knowing the price. You know this ghetto life got us living so ghetto trifling. You can find me in the ghetto, in the cutlass with the metal pipes, black and white, rally stripes, mobbing through the ghetto night. I see the light, searching for a better life. Spend some flights, we mob, cause we mob it, we mob it, we mob it.
With my forehead. With my forehead.
Every day, all day.
With my forehead.
from California, hey. Real niggas from the Bay.
You need people like me. So you can point your fucking
Frisco
finger
to San Jose.
and say that's
We
the
on the
bad
paper
guy.
chase.
We mobbing like we all out of break fluid. We make history every time we make music. Not losing like the 72 Dolphins, stepping through bosses, balling and flossing, making you nauseous, saying Quinn, a hip-hop messiah with the block-to-block riders, bait niggas the illest, call me biased, tries and get tied up, duct tape the hitting, we touch paper, shake prison, my eyes full of ambition, pistol full of ammunition for my protection and my protection alone. We can chop game, or I can come and wreck your dome, from the 415, and when I slide up, all you hear is my 415s slapping the rap game. Yeah, man, we in this for the kids to one day run the family business. We tear one-on-one, Highway 80 and 880. My homies in 100-degree heat, they still shake.
We on this thug shit, money, power, drug shit, mobbing like the Taliban. Bundles wrapped in rubber bands, don't test me. The young Joe Pesci, shit gets messy on the block. I'ma get it from slanging raps, or I'ma get it from slanging rocks. It don't stop. This shit is hot like the summertime. And if you wanna hear it again, it gon' press rewind. Cause I'm that nigga sipping wine in the booth, 80 proof, Grey Goose. Let me get loose, I'm a monster, steak and lobster. We make reservations up at Crest stations. I like the finer things of life. This rhyme is dedicated to my cousin Comatose.
You need people like me. So you can point your fucking fingers and say that's the bad guy.
We're mobbing, mobbing. We're mobbing, 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 mobbing.
fertile place, huh? What a coincidence. They were soon granted full citizenship. Oh, they got their citizenship. They got their nationality. Good for them, huh? Citizenship, nationality. Oh, they got a nationhood now. And were exempted from taxation for a period of 7 years. Oh, hold up. So why are they exempted from taxation and they're getting full citizenship? Why are they getting all these privileges? Man, these Huguenots. What's up with them?
Indians not taxed, huh?
Yeah. So what? Indians not taxed, right? That's or Huguenots not taxed,
There you go.
right? Huguenots not taxed. They were granted freedom of worship under ministers of their choice. All right. All right. So we're done with that article. We're gonna keep it going. We got a lot of info. All right. So now we're gonna read about a specific history of a specific family that you didn't even know about. It's a historic person in the history of America and the Revolution. And I'm in the Suffolk County, Massachusetts genealogy and history. All right, biographies of the Revere family of Massachusetts, genealogical and personal memoirs relating to the families of the state of Massachusetts, Cutler and Adams, 1910, transcribed by Sue Ann McKnight. It says Jean Rivori, the immigrant ancestor of the Revere family of Massachusetts, belonged to the ancient and distinguished family of Rivoiries, or des Rivoiries, or Romagnoux of France. They were what? Huguenots. They were Huguenots, and some of the family fled from France during the Catholic Inquisition. He married Magdalene Malapergi. Children, Simon Elson's son was a refugee from France, went first to Holland and afterwards settled in the Isle of Guernsey, Great Britain. Took with him the coat of arms of the family on a silver seal, and these arms were afterwards registered in the French heraldry book in London at the herald's office of Apollos Isaac mentioned below. All right, so if you remember from my last couple videos, all those family crests we saw from Europe. All right, so what if we go look at the Revere? What are we gonna find in these old crests? So it says Isaac Rivori, son of Jean Rivori, was born about 1670 in France, married 1694, Serene Lambert. They had several children, one of whom was named Apollos. The following account of his birth was written in the family Bible by the father and copy of it sent to the Colonel Paul Revere, Boston, by Matthias Rivori, a second cousin of Martel near St. Foy, France. Apollos Rivori, or son, was born the 13th of November 1702, about 10 o'clock at night, and was baptized at Recon, France. Apollos Rivori, my brother, was his godfather, and Anne Malman, his sister-in-law, his godmother. He set out for Guernsey on the 21st, 1715 of November. According to the late General Joseph Warren Revere, Apollo is the father of the famous Paul Revere. Paul Revere. What do you guys know about Paul Revere? Quick. Who was Paul Revere? Who knows this? Who was Paul Revere? Anybody in the chat know who Paul Revere was? Paul Revere was one of those dudes in Massachusetts who said, hey, the redcoats are coming.
The redcoats are coming.
The redcoats are coming, right? He's one of those heroes of the revolution, right? A very historic person in American history. Well, he's a Huguenot, and his name is not Revere. It was Rivoire. Rivoire. And I bet you it doesn't end there. It probably goes more back, and the name probably changes a little bit too. Right?
Yes.
And I would say
back to
to
America.
I would say to Rivera. And you guys are going to see why I say that. All right. So again, Paul Revere is a Huguenot. I remember this for later on. It's very important. Paul Revere was a Huguenot. Because you're going to know who exactly what Paul Revere was then. So when we look at Paul Revere's images of today, we got to dodge the hijack. All right. We're going to see why. So he says he became the true heir and lineal representative of his brother, Simon de Rivori, and the American branch of the family, consequently, is the legal heir at the present day. All the other heirs having become extinct. The American family would inherit the titles and estates, if any now remain to inherit. All right. So it keeps going about the history of Apollo. This is another one here. So it says Paul Revere, an American Huguenot. Paul Revere, an American Huguenot, right? Right. So dodge the hijack with this image. You'll see why. You'll see why. Because he shouldn't look like this, according to what they're telling us a Huguenot is later on. You'll see. The 18th of April, 1775 is a date familiar to Americans, thanks to Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's stern poem, The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Boom, the drums, yeah. This vivid recounting of the courageous night ride that gave alert that British regulars were marching on Lexington and Concord has thrilled readers for generations. The ensuing skirmishes, which forced a retreat of the British, are considered the first battles of the American Revolution. Who was this Boston silversmith? A silversmith. Remember the Huguenots? That was one of their trades. The American patriot with the French-sounding last name. Paul Revere was the son of Apollos Rivoire, who was born in 1702 in Ricard in the Gironde Valley near Bordeaux. The family was French Huguenot, and because of the persecutions following the revocation of the Edict of Nantes, many thousands of Huguenots were forced to flee to Protestant tolerant countries. The child Apollos was first sent to safety to an uncle on the island of Guernsey, but then the uncle paid for his nephew's sea passage to Boston and New World. He probably had to be an apprentice to his uncle and pay that back. Puritan New England was a welcome destination for the Huguenots. All right, escaping why? Why is Puritan New England a again just like Virginia, Mannequin Town, all that, and South Carolina, right? All this promise of land to them, the promised land. Puritans, what do the Puritans have to do with Huguenots? We'll see. Escaping persecution in 1735, most of Boston's 14 established churches were Calvinist. One was French Reformed. Apollos turned 13 on the sea voyage and was apprenticed again and was what? Apprenticed to a master goldsmith where he became a skilled artisan. Skills and training he eventually passed on to his son. Now, are they talking code here when they're talking about apprentice to a master? And they passed the skills and training to his son Paul Revere, this apprentice skills of a master. What are we talking here? You know what I'm talking about. Is this subliminal? All right, this website right here is the Huguenot Society of America. Just another reference that I saw here, but they didn't let me get the article. It says England Huguenots were prominent. They provided 10% of the initial capital for the Bank of England, and 6 of the original governors, including the chairman, were Huguenots. All right. Now, I didn't get too deep into what involvement they had in Europe, these Huguenots, before coming to America, but they were very prominent people in Europe, especially with money, banks, commerce, handling all this finance. All right. What does this
Hey,
sound
hold on
like?
one second.
What does this
You
sound like?
talking
Go
about
ahead.
you talking about yeah, exactly. Who does this sound like? You know, we hear this story of people that control the money, the banks, and all that. That that are controlling our so-called reality.
All right.
My fault.
No, yeah. Like, exactly. You got to think about it. So, who are they talking about, right? It says here that Sir Isaac Newton lived among Huguenots as a very young. He was most likely a Huguenot. All right, so I wanted to add that there. So, another famous Huguenot, especially for those who do, research in history and everything, Encyclopedia Britannica. We're talking about Alexander von Humboldt, very famous historian. He wrote a lot of deep stuff, a lot of jewels in his book about America. He's talking about Atlantis and all that, the old world over here. He's talking about the pyramid of Cholula looking like the Tower of Belus, the exact copy of the Tower of Belus. He knew when he came over here who the Americans were. We're going to see that. Why? Because he's a Huguenot, right? Alexander von Humboldt. And what is the Huguenot? Why would a Huguenot know why the Americans are, who the Americans are? It says he was born in Berlin. All right, so he's a Huguenot born in Germany, right? Naturalist and explorer, who was a major figure in the classical period of physical geography and biogeography, areas of science now including the earth sciences and ecology with his book Cosmos. He made a valuable contribution to the popularization of science. He made science popular. All right. The Humboldt Current of the west coast of South America was named after him. All right. Early life, Humboldt was the son of an officer in the army of Frederick the Great. His mother belonged to a family of Huguenots, French Protestants, who had left France after Louis XIV's revocation in 1685 of religious liberty for Protestants after his father's death in 1779. All right, so Alexander Humboldt, another Huguenot. All right, and now what do we read here? So again, remember the Huguenots had to go wherever they said was a Protestant friendly area. Many of them ended up in Ireland, England, Scotland, right? A lot though, a large amount ended up in Ireland. And by the time a lot of them made it over to America, they were considered Irish. Irish. Now remember I was telling you about all these Irish coming over here as indentured servants and all that. and so-called Black Irish. All right, just giving you a hint here. So it says Irish Huguenots were originally French Calvinists. Oh, really? Who, following the revocation of the Edict of Nantes in 1685, departed from France rather than convert to Catholicism. The Dublin writer Charles Maturin, who was said used to sit in Marsh's library with a host pasted on his forehead to indicate that he was composing and should not be disturbed, was from a Huguenot family. The practice may also have served to demonstrate his low opinion of the Catholic doctrine of transubstantiation. Wow. It was a point he labored at some length in his celebrated sermons. All right, so that's a famous Huguenot in France, in Ireland. There's in all about 40,000 Huguenots settled in England, with perhaps a quarter of that number coming to Ireland. The literary impact of the Irish Huguenots in their host country was significant in relation to their overall numbers, especially in the 19th century. The English Huguenots barely registered in the area of literary production over their first 2 centuries in England. Daphne du Maurier, who published in the 20th century, is that community's most notable literary figure. On arrival in Ireland, many, if not most, Huguenots conformed to the established church. They conformed, as was expected of them by the authorities. They assimilated, right? They confirmed, right? They weren't Huguenot anymore. And a good number of them prospered within the politically and economically dominant world of Irish Protestantism. All right. The name Latouche is long associated with banking in Dublin. All right. Latouche, banking. Again, Huguenots banking. Latouche, banking. Who's the bankers? Remember, Dublin. What did Dublin mean again? You guys remember? Dub. Dub is black. Dublin means black. The original David Latouche fought with King William at the Boyne and later laid the basis of his fortune through astute land purchases in the St. Stephen's Green and Angier Street areas of the city. De O'Lear Street is named after Jeremiah de O'Lear, a Huguenot who was High Sheriff in Dublin and a founder of the Bank of Ireland. Again, another banker and another founder of another bank, Jeremiah, Jeremiah, Jeremiah. Is that a French name? Jeremiah? Huh? He established what? The Bank of Ireland. Here we go, another bank, right? Money, commerce, merchants. Today, Lefroy, who was to become Lord Chief Justice of Ireland, was another. Lefroy is more famous today as the man who flirted with and may have even toyed with the feelings of incomparable Jane Austen. Austen was working on the Pride and Prejudice when she knew Lefroy. Some say Darcy modeled on Lefroy, while others maintain it is the character of Elizabeth Bennet that is based on the quick-witted Anglo-Irish Huguenot. All right, and we're in the
So how
Brigham
can a
Young.
Huguenot be Irish?
How can a Huguenot be Irish? Well, you already know. You see, they migrated over there. All right,
Oh,
so Brigham Young University from Provo, Utah says researching Huguenot settlers in Ireland. All right, so it says the French Protestants who came to Ireland. All right, so French Protestants that came, so-called French Protestants. Is that the beginning of their history? Oh, we're gonna go back before that. Who came to Ireland after the revocation of the Edict of 1685 were from many different regions of France. Many different regions had Huguenots, and from a wide spectrum of backgrounds. What? But I thought they were all the same. A wide spectrum of backgrounds? The Huguenots are of a wide spectrum of backgrounds. Laborers, artisans, craftsmen, tradesmen, and merchants, along with their wives and children, were joined in the period by some 1,000 disbanded military officers, many from noble backgrounds, who were pensioned in Ireland after serving in King William III's army in Ireland. All right, in Flanders in the 1600s, 1680s, 1690s, and in later campaigns under Queen Anne, mostly on the Iberian Peninsula. Both, all right, on the Iberian Peninsula. Both Robin Gwynn and Raymond Hilton have estimated the total number of refugees who arrived in the period 1685 to 1720 to have been in the region of 10,000, though some other historians argue for a lower figure. In any event, the number of immigrants declined significantly after the 1720s, with many opting to move on elsewhere, especially to England and America. And America, all right, these Irish Huguenots. It should be noted that scarcely any Huguenots traveled to Ireland directly from France. Most first fled to neighboring countries such as the Netherlands, So they became Dutch. They became what? Germans. They became what? Swiss. Finally reaching Ireland. You see all these backgrounds they're talking about, right? Who's these people? They assimilated everywhere they went, all right, via England, and they were always on the move, all right? We're gonna get back into South Carolina now, all right? We're gonna keep going back and forth with different things, all right? Because this is just a compilation of the screenshots I got of the research, but we're gonna get to a specific point, all right? I hope you guys ain't tired yet. It's about to get deep. South Carolina history. Walter Edgar. South Carolina had one of the more heterogeneous European populations in British North America. By the time of the American Revolution, there were 9 European ethnic groups represented in measurable numbers. Of these, in addition to the English, the French, Scots, Irish, Germans, Welsh, and Jews maintained something of a cultural identity. The Dutch and Swedes did not. After the English, the French were the most significant ethnic group in the terms of colonial affairs. Colonial affairs, their hands in the colonial affairs, these French Huguenots, far out of all proportion to their numbers. South Carolina had the largest French population in terms of percentage. Of any of the 13 original colonies, it was a diverse group made of Huguenot refugees, French speaking Swiss, and Acadians. The first French settlers were Huguenots who were attracted to South Carolina by the promise of religious and political freedom and the availability of land. All right. All right. So they try to say, well, they wanted religious freedom and the political freedom, right? But also availability of land. I think that was the biggest reason. Availability of land. Whose land again? So called Negro. Whose land, my brother? Whose land are they taking to give to the Huguenots? In April 1680, a group of 45 Huguenots arrived in South Carolina aboard the Richmond. The Huguenot answer to the Carolina in the Mayflower. Over the next few years, other immigrants emigrated as families or individuals. Then in 1685, Louis XIV revoked the Edict of Nantes that had guaranteed French Protestants the right to worship freely. Huguenots were persecuted and thousands sought refuge in Switzerland, Netherlands, England, and the New World. All right, we know the story now, right? In the decade following the revocation, 1,500 fled to South Carolina, many of them escaping with only their lives. In 1685, after months of suffering from abuses by French soldiers, Judith Gayton Manigault wrote that her family resolved on quitting France by night, abandoning the house with its furniture. We contrived to hide ourselves for 10 days while a search was made for us. The Gaytons, via an underground railroad of Huguenot sympathizers, escaped from France and made their way eventually to England and then to South Carolina. Some Huguenots remained in Charlestown, but most moved north and east along the eastern branch of the Copper River and on the vacant lands along the Santee River to what was then South Carolina's northern frontier. There they established themselves as planters. They became what? Planters and plantation owners. What does that mean? That means they had slaves, right? There they
Hey,
established. Go ahead.
chime in real quick, right?
Yeah.
So they all down there in South Carolina, right? During the same exact time, during in the same exact major port of what they call them, embarking Indians that they were sending to the islands and everywhere else. During the same time frame, that was
Oh, definitely.
port.
Yep.
I'm just saying.
Yep. I've lost my place. Where was it? Let me see. All right, they were in Charlestown. Yeah. All right, so yeah, they're grabbing all this land, right? They're establishing mainly, as you guys can see, in South Carolina, and like Kyo said, it's all connected. You know, all those stories and all that history. Says there they established themselves as planters again, plantation owners, while would become one of the richest rice-growing areas of the colony. Until about 1720, they continued to speak and write in French and married within the Huguenot community. After that time, Huguenots intermarried with the English majority in the Low Country, joined the Church of England, and made little effort to perpetuate the remembrance of a distinct nationality. They didn't care about holding on to their whole French culture or Huguenot beliefs, and they didn't really care about that. Why? Did they really
Because they're
care about?
chameleons.
Because they're chameleons. Okay, well, why? Well, Kiowa, You must know more than most of us.
What's up? I want to take this time to dedicate this song to all my fallen soldiers out there, man. You know what I'm saying? To all my peoples doing hard time. To all my street hustlers, man, my street soldiers. You know what I'm saying? We still out here grinding, man. We out here grinding. Huh. Let's get this money. Let's go.
I woke up in the morning, gotta thank God for seeing another day. I got money on my mind, looking for another way. Living this life I live, trying to feed my family in peace. Living this life I live, gotta get this money for the real. That's why I push a hard line. I keep my pistols by my wayside. To all my peoples doing hard times, just keep your head up, it's gonna be alright, yeah. Here's a true story of a hustler's life. Counting money on the block day and night. Gotta stay grinding till my pockets run. Got my hands on my pistol, it's so long now. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I gotta find a way, I gotta get paid. I stay hugging the block. Gotta stay grinding to the top. I'm getting money, I'm getting money. I'm getting money, got this game on lock. Living this life I live, trying to feed my family in peace. Living this life I live, gotta get this money for the real. That's why I push a hard line. I keep my pistols by my wayside. To all my peoples doing hard times, just keep your head up, it's gonna be alright, yeah. Here's a true story of a hustler's life. Counting money on the block day and night. Gotta stay grinding till my pockets run. Got my hands on my pistol, it's so long now. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I gotta find a way, I gotta get paid. I'm a certified hustler. Gotta get that mayonnaise and that mustard. Can't be soft like custard. I'm dodging all you haters and you busters. Like Ali, I'll be the greatest. I'm legendary. I'm street famous. Like Ali, I'll be the greatest. I'm legendary. I'm street famous. Gotta feed my fam. Can't go for broke. No time for play. No time for jokes. This be the realest song that I wrote. Just give me 2 guns, watch the pistol smoke. Here's a true story of a hustler's life. Counting money on the block day and night. Gotta stay grinding till my pockets run. Got my hands on my pistol, it's so long now. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I gotta find a way, I gotta get paid. Here's a true story of a hustler's life. Counting money on the block day and night. Gotta stay grinding till my pockets run. Got my hands on my pistol, it's so long now. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I'm living this sweet life, yeah. I gotta find a way, I gotta get paid.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
Yeah, girl, you know I really want what's in them jeans.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
You can ride with me and take a trip up overseas. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, TWDY, the whole damn, yeah, I put a chick on robot. I'm so Mac Dre, I got my air code locked. I'm so far away, I took a trip down that coastline, that Frisco Bay. I pulled up at the dock, ran strip on the chick, she fell in love on the spot. I got to get the gab and the swag with the bash. I'm talking about the ism that you wish you really had. I started talking. You know I really want what's in them jeans.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
You can ride with me and take a trip up overseas. Yeah, stunt man means out stunt everybody. I'm on the dance floor grooving at a gangster party. Start a soul train line, I'm about to lose my mind. I push it to the limit every goddamn time. Yeah, I call shots like a ref. In the kitchen cooking up a batch, 5-star chef. I'm the plug to connect. Took a book around to the bank and left with a check. Yeah, hey, I make moves with the boss, call me Capo. Lifestyle I'm living like a new. Hit the lotto, flip through the channel, every channel I'ma pop on. Boogie money made off, I get my ride on, ride on.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
Yeah, girl, you know I really want what's in them jeans.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
You can ride with me and take a trip up overseas.
Feeling it? Stickums. I'm a whole nother species rolling up the queue. Blowing up the spot when I touch down, believe me. Frank about bank like I was a Chase VP. Young Ace Boogie made off with the cheese beans. VIP, me and B with a 5-piece. Goon team with the moonbeams on the side piece. News team watch the boy move with a few things. Gamma 5 Gamma with a bad mamma jammer. Keep cash on hand, get my hopes out the slammer. Wrist rock like a band, you can call it Steel Panther. This the hottie anthem, get the party amped up. Mommy got body like a pinned up calendar.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
Girl, you know I really want what's in them jeans.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
You can ride with me and take a trip up overseas. Yeah.
chat. But you must be saying that for a reason, and I hope people like kind of like catching on to and getting the hint as to where we're taking this. Again, they didn't really care. Few even anglicized their names, but little effort to keep their traditions, right? While they may have become anglicized in many ways, Huguenots and their English neighbors continued to recognize the former's heritage. The area along the Sante where they lived was known as the French Sante, and when parishes were established in the 18th century, one was called St. Thomas and St. Denis. The name St. Denis, with its French spelling, allegedly is derived from the site of 16th century victory by Huguenot forces led by Admiral Coligny. The French heritage was also displayed in the retention of family names Bonneau, Cordis, de Saussure, de Vaux, Du Bois, or Du Bois, right? Du Bois, Du Bois, Web Du Bois, Du Bois, Fort, Gaillard, Gendron, Gerard, Horry, Huger, Lawrence, Laguerre, Marigold, Marion, Perry, Porcher or Porch, Preleu, Ravenel, Simmons, and Timothy. All right, just a
Yeah, there's
few
one
right
name
there.
that really rung a bell on there is Manigault. R.I.P.
Manigault.
Goat. Yeah, Earl of
Why?
the Goat. Earl of Goat Manigault.
Okay.
That's a player that never made it big. But yeah,
Okay.
my bad.
All right. Yeah, that's good. Assimilation did not come easy for the Huguenots, who found themselves the objects of intense ethnic animosity. In the elections for the first Commons House of Assembly in 1692, 5 of the 6 delegates from Craven County were Huguenots. This led to an angry petition to Governor Philip Ludwell asking him to prevent the Huguenots from taking their seats. Shall the Frenchmen who cannot speak our language make our laws? You see what's going on? These Huguenots already making laws, right? They getting power. They're gaining land and power, right?
Mm,
They're bankers,
interesting.
remember? Before they came here, they were bankers. Commerce.
Mm, plot
Trying,
thickens.
the plot thickens. Trying to unseat the Craven delegation was not enough for some bigots. They demanded the enforcement of more extreme provisions of England's alien laws that would have denied Huguenots the right to vote, serve on juries, or even inherit property. Governor Ludwell ignored the protest. It permitted the Huguenots to take their seats. He was like, nah, I like the Huguenots. It says by 1730s, the Huguenots had begun to abandon their language and customs. Why would somebody abandon their language and customs and to merge with the English majority? Huh? They were no longer as alien as they once had been. They're not aliens anymore, Kiowa. The more they became assimilated, the more successful they became, right? Later, French immigrants settled on the frontier away from the centers of population and for a while clung to their own ways. So a lot of these French frontiermen, these woodsmen, these naturalists, these men going in the woods, these traders, they were Huguenots. All right, we're gonna see one that's very famous later on. But most of those Frenchmen, French traders, fur traders, we already got the French enslavement video I did about the Indians. They were not just trading fur; they was trading Indians, right? Humans, or over to the English. Their buddies, you see, the ones they were assimilating with. All right. Then they too married their neighbors, whether or not they were French. In Charleston, no one really cared whether backwoods French or German settlers kept their alien culture and language out of sight and earshot. They were supposed to be the colony's first line of defense against the Indians. All right. All right. Hey, Daniel Kam Yasharala. Oh, you already know. I already know he was family's European. Look up the Blangards, I believe, from New Hampshire. There's a whole story there, but yeah, they're most likely Huguenots. All right. So we're gonna continue with slide number 2. All right. Just so you guys can know, we're on slide number 2. I got 4 slides. All right. They're not all the same length, but we're just getting started here. So not just getting started, but we're just getting good. All right. We're in slide number 2 here. All right. So again, much love and respect to everybody in the chat. Thank you for being here. I hope you guys enjoying this. It's about to get juicy again. I know I keep saying that, but I promise you. All right. So it says here the history of the Huguenot emigration to America by Charles W. Baird. I have undertaken to narrate the coming of the persecuted Protestants of France to the New World, and their establishment, particularly in the seaboard provinces now comprehended within the United States. This movement and settlement took place principally at the time of the revocation of the Edict of Nantes, but before that period, important emigrations had already occurred. Emigrations to Acadia, all right? So listen to this. Even before the 1600s, right, this Edict of Nantes that these French Huguenots were coming to America, right? Now we're learning that they were coming even from the 1400s, 1500s. Listen to this. It says, but before that period, important immigrations had already occurred. Immigrations to Acadia, that's in Canada. The Acadians, the French Acadians, those are all Huguenots. All right. I don't get too.
Haiti, the sun, same thing.
Yep, yep. And these people ended up in Haiti, Florida, and
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up. All this on me so yummy, all this sauce so yummy. No,
and Louisiana. All right. So yes, these are all. Most of these people are Huguenots, and we're gonna see who these Huguenots are, so you can understand real history. All right. We're gonna go in. We're going in deep. All right. Are we? So
One
again,
thing right before you kick off, anybody who's catching feelings over this, really shouldn't be, especially if you're a Moor. This is actually helpful to help you distinguish your Moorish lineage.
yeah, like which more, which more house or which more descendants, whatever, if you want to call it more, you know. So yeah, exactly. But we didn't even get there yet. But we're gonna. What does Moors have to do with hugging us, Kiowa? What are you talking about, man? You're confusing me, man.
Dangling that carrot a little bit.
Well, all right. You must know something, man. All right. So again, these Huguenots, these French. I mean, they're already in America and Acadia and Canada up there. Again, the Acadians, the French Acadians that were relocated from there or even sent to there, or Nova Scotia, right, to Canada, to the French West Indies. Again, French West Indies, where Haiti, these French Huguenots, these French Europeans, French Huguenots, so-called Huguenots in Haiti, and by way of Holland to the Dutch possession of New Netherland, now New York. And still earlier, the effort had been made by Coligny, unsuccessfully indeed, to plant a colony and provide a retreat for the French Calvinists, first in Brazil and afterwards in Florida. All right, so before I see what they're doing now. So they're not calling them Huguenots, but they know it's the same people, right? Because this is a Huguenot book. They're calling them Calvinists at this time. They weren't Huguenots yet. This is 1500s. They had a colony. They tried to make a colony down in Suriname, French Guiana, and over there near Venezuela and all that Guyana, and they were actually warring with the Indians. The local Indians didn't like them. They were warring. The Indians. They were. You know why they were unsuccessful? Because the Indians, you know, took them out
They
of there.
weren't having that.
They weren't having that. They weren't having it with these Huguenots. All right.
AKA chameleons.
aka chameleons assimilators. All right. Says the volumes now submitted to the public treat first of this antecedent movements and then take up the narrative of the event that led to the more considerable and more effective emigration in the latter years of the 17th century. The attempt has been made in connection with a brief account of the Huguenots before an exodus, all right, an exodus from France to trace the fortunes of many who ultimately reached this country. The recital is by no means to be regarded as exhaustive. It is presented rather as illustrative of the subject. Yet the number of families whose places of, all right, so it keeps going, it says the story of the Huguenot emigration to America has remained till now unwritten. Why has it remained unwritten? Listen to what this author is saying. This has not been due to a lack of interest in the subject, nor to a failure to recognize its importance. Its importance. Many a glowing tribute has been paid to the memory of the persecuted exiles, and many a thoughtful estimate has been formed of the value of the contribution made by them to the American character and spirit. What do they mean by that? What did they contribute to the American character and spirit? No traditions have been more fondly and reverently cherished among us than those concerning the hardships and sufferings of the fugitives from France, and no names are more honored than the names of foreign castes that indicate descent from them. All right, descent from them. Who is they talking about? Yet there has scarcely been a serious attempt to set in order the facts that have been known with reference to this theme, much less to delve into the mass of documentary evidence that might be supposed to exist. All right, so this author, I wanted to throw this in this video real quick because he's letting you know, man, they're not even paying attention. They're not really, they're like, there's so much evidence, but no attention has been made to it, right? Now we're in this article, it says the effects of the Huguenot diaspora on the American Revolution. Remember Paul Revere, right? The redcoats are coming. He was a Huguenot, right? So it says this is a thesis presented to the faculty of the U.S. Army Command and General Staff College in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the degree. Master of Military Art and Science, Military History by Stephen D. Griffin, Major, U.S. Army. All right, BA in University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, 1993. All right. It says here, Louis XIV 1605 revocation of the Edict of Nantes led to a diaspora of an estimated 200,000 French Protestants, Huguenot refugees throughout Europe and North America, in what is known as Les Refuges. These Huguenots often intermingled and intermarried with earlier French Protestant Walloon refugees from the Spanish Netherlands. All right, the Walloons are just basically Calvinists, so-called Calvinists that had already been in Holland. They were just called Walloons, but they're the same people, same Huguenots, same Protestant people, so-called Protestant people. And they were calling it what? The Spanish Netherlands, because Spain, what? Had control? The Spanish Netherlands, Holland? What does Spain have to do with Holland? And the Habsburgs and Charles V, huh? It's all connected. By the time of the American Revolution, many of these refugee families had achieved significant political and economic power in their host nations. So these refugees and this diaspora, right? These poor refugees, hey, they didn't do so bad. Everywhere they went, they were getting land, economic power, right? Political and economic power. Often leveraging refugee networks that crossed the Atlantic and spanned generations as part of a larger Protestant international. You hear what he's saying right there, right? You heard that, Kiowa? So they created these
Sure.
networks, right? Because these are what? All the same people. These networks that cross the Atlantic and span generations. They spanned what? Generations as part of a
Hmm.
larger Protestant international. So now he's calling it Protestant because that's what they're assuming. That's the history, the only history of Huguenots, right?
So how's it Protestant?
All right. Well, what does it mean to protest? Protestant.
Oh, against the Catholic Church.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So anything that's not Catholic, so that a lot of people can fit into that Protestantism, tag. All right. So continue says the result was that a large percentage of key American, British, French, and various German-speaking participants in the American Revolution had at least partial Huguenot ancestry. Given this high level of participation, this study focuses on what actual demonstrated effects of the existing Huguenot network had on the conflict, as seen against instruments of power in the dime model of diplomacy, information, military, and economics, and to see if they were leveraged to any marked advantage. It also reviews to what extent these connections varied across different ethnic groups that the refugees accumulated into, if there are any resultant effects on non-Huguenots, and if these transatlantic connections distinguish the Huguenots from other immigrant groups in the American Revolution. All right, he's trying to get down deep. All right, obviously it's a long article. Obviously all these are just screenshots of big articles and books. So I just try to get main things, main ideas across of what they were trying to talk about in these articles, certain things. Now he's saying here that this Patriot force would include over 200 militia led by Lieutenant Colonel John Sevier, that's a French last name, right? Including his brother, Captain Robert Sevier. The Sevier brothers were descendants of French Protestant refugees Huguenots, who originally spelled their family name Xavier or Javier. See, that's from Spain, Javier,
Like
right?
Xavier.
Xavier, there you go. and had immigrated to the Shenandoah Valley
So
by Shenandoah, my fault, killed it, and Baltimore, Maryland. All right, so what these Huguenots, these Xaviers, ended up in Baltimore, Maryland. Over a couple of generations, the family assimilated into the Scots. They
I will always be around. I got your back through all the ups and downs. We're the shoulder to lean on whenever you need a call. I'll help you to be strong. And that's no lie, I will always be around. I got your back through all the ups and downs. We're the shoulder to lean on whenever you need a call. I'll help you to be strong. And that's no lie.
Every time I wake up in the morning, I open my eyes, knowing that the hope is inside. I'm trying to focus on the moment inside, never letting go of the fight, hoping and holding on tight with the foes and strikes through the cold and the vulnerable times. I don't mind if you get a hold of me, you're calling on my phone line. So below whatever's on your own mind, whatever you're going to do, better believe you both ride. To the lonely nights, I'm playing the short of the crowd, whether wrong or right. I'm riding along by your side, keep it strong with mine. You're finding consoling advice, so I fold with fire. So love will be close every time. Don't you ever let no one ever say that you won't find the goals that you want, but just know you're gon' shine. Follow your whole soul, let it show you more light. Exposing the road to the truth with no lies. My protection will always be over your life, providing and holding you so close and tight. Help you to grow and to open the doors to climb, to go to new heights and to overcome pride. To play my role as an adult, to guide to the day that I'm great in the mold and die. Watching you take flight with swollen eyes as flow as a poem to my unborn child.
I'll always be around. I got your back through all the ups and downs. We're the shoulder to lean on whenever you need a call. I'll help you to be strong. And that's no lie, I will always
Hello, Johnny. I'd like to play a game.
She asked me to take her for a ride.
You're swaying, ready, you're shaking and making you steady for a minute. In a second, I've been laying you down. Now you're looking around, saying, what happens now? Baby girl, it's time for you to start turning around and get that chin up. Shake it like a champion, run around the ring like a lead, big prancing. Wanna
Yeah, this your boy Sir Moj. I'm coming out the 4-way Skrillacon Valley. Just let y'all know how we do it here on the left side of the states. You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm just gonna put it down one time for y'all to this smashing beat. Yeah, ayy. Sir Moj, come on, I'm from the left coast, where we doing it foremost. Skrillacon Valley, south of the bay, where we all boast, we all go. Burn the rubber for the cricket bowl, we ride it dirty, so you keep your business on the low. Turn the table, smashing out like a pro, all up in the parking like everybody start a sideshow. Mexicans is one of us, acting a fool with, have to go real and gritty, you saying what it do? That's what's up, we're hella black, but it's fake, but we make it look good, so pop, you gotta do it anyway. Over the game, and the proudly to say that we're doing our pencil here from the left, but we mash skate. We mash and skate. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate on the west. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate on the west. We mash and we skate. The game is thick, you can feel it in the air, and the girls are savvy too. She got you to hit it bare. Either you shroom or drink, or you doing both, or you popping the pills. So we the loaded up the sticky draw. Entrepreneurs and everybody's got a label when they dropping the album. That's how we do. Cause we are some players on the grind. Push away the slang of the beach, or they're working a 9 to 5. Doesn't matter cause we keep it street. Old schools and GVs sitting up on the street. Well, big ass business, lost stuff, so you couldn't tell. Why me? Lee Marcus got the best team with the crease in the middle. But we mash SKATE. We mash and skate. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate on the west. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate on the west. We mash and we skate. She'll cross you up. You ain't knowing she a runner all up in your pocket. That's what you get. Thinking you was done if they ain't working. Cause they know where the child support. Yeah, they got money but unemployed. And the eyes are going get it. Living it fast like she started so early before her teens. Giving up the yacht. Running look sexy up in them jeans. Some got it good but wanna play the bad role. Some of us in the pattern to violate a B-roll. Looking suspect. Title their next faces singing low. Some do nothing and some shut it. Can't get their nose halfway house. Church. Mamas get their prayer home. But the Lord will watch their baby when they mash skate home. We mash and skate. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate on the west. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate on the west. We mash and we skate. We mash and skate. We mash and we skate. We mash. Empire. Why yo? Yes, man. Boogie Empire. Mebs and Robbie. Kabula mubange zindaba bukomye Kwese mubi wonvune migai Ebisimu nebitunyumira Kawo masinigai Wotayinze sebaka Umutima gwange wakutwala Baby nakumoja Kawo masinigai Wotayinze sebaka These niggas is strange. Yeah. These niggas is strange. Reminds me funny. You know what I'm saying? When I'm sliding. These niggas is strange. It's strange, man. It's my stress to get this rap shit right. I'm in it for 20 years, that's all my life. These niggas so shite, they hate that's love. But that's alright, I'm daddy made me a thug. I'm a holler boy slugs, my ass car. I'm trying to stop looking like I do with your ball. This is see raw in the trunk of your car. I'ma have your main bitch pressing out like, oh, no, he bad like Michael Jackson. And that song probably all ready for action. Man, I'm blasting, really ain't it look crazy. That's on grandma, I keep it creative. I'm a Mercedes, smoking a hit. They wanna see a nigga forward here in the street. Bloody damn me in the life of the H. When niggas release, stop right over your seat. These niggas strange, but I like it. These niggas is strange. When I'm up and down the avenue, strange, but I like it. These niggas is strange. When I'm up and down the avenue, I got a 6-8 cool nut, hella dip. With candy ass paint, gold ass chips. We call this shit flips, so I gotta watch these haters. The smithy is smash on them like mashed potatoes. Nothing can save you, so don't even holler. Y'all shit move, our shit on Rottweiler. On everything we swallow that bottle already. Ho, you ain't know, it's fresh nor a bit. I hope you got the city, so don't get too jumpy. I fuck around and leave your ass holy and bulky. Back like Humpty Dumpty, but fucking the game. And if I get caught, I'm bleeding insane. It's all in your face, Jiggy, you ain't right. You'll never do it like poppin' sugar tonight. The game ain't nice, so I gotta stay lean. I put that on every fucking thing. These niggas strange, but I like it. These niggas is strange. When I'm up and down the avenue, strange, but I like it. These niggas is strange. When I'm up and down the avenue, hey, these niggas lame, strange, fake, fugazi. I'm Pablo the pimp, I make the bitch pay me. I've been stacking on the block, now they looking at me crazy. Gotta keep the hammer around me, cause these niggas shady. Plotting on the meal, had to get it out the project. Hit it with the water, straight drop, that's the process. Cocaine, baby, I was raised off the dope smoke. Clientele knocking, got them chicken out the front door. Jumped off the porch, head first into the dope gang. Mind elevated, gotta get it out the bitch, man. State to state, different cities, all I know is cash flow. Gotta cop the foreign, that's what I'm living fast for. Pockets full of blue things, wood full of blue cook. Took a bitch with one glance, nigga, that's a no look. Cut across the mob, nigga, you gon' get your life took. Niggas that strange when they see a nigga pull up. Strange, but I like it. These niggas is strange. When I'm up and down.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is alright with me. 'Cause you make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my life with you. Me say, sing, baby, since we've been together, ooh, loving you forever is what I need. Let me be the one you come running to. I'll never be untrue. loving you weather times are good and bad, happy or sad. Ooh, yeah. Well, the times are good and bad, happy or sad. Why somebody, why people break up? Oh, and turn around and make up.
So cool, old school, big Snoop Dogg, I be breaking the rules. I'm phenomenal, your mama knows, so I'ma go and get it. Did the beat, so you know I got to spit it. You got the look of a diva, dog got it all now, follow the procedure. I need you to leave your mind, but bring your body. Ain't nothing but an east side party. You know it's cracking like that, why you acting like that? Hand me your glass, let me pour you some yak. That's legend. Now if you act right, by the end of the night, you get the can with the Southside boss. Twist that spinach, put fire on the end of the bitch, now let me hit it. Baby, you cute, but you need to be fucking with Snoop. Come through and see what it do.
Oh, yes, it's Diva night, and she's feeling right. Oh, yes, it's Diva night, gonna get it tight. Oh, yes, it's Diva night, and she's feeling right. Oh, yes, it's Diva night, gonna get it tight. Phenomenal, abdominal pressure with the follow through. Relax for a second, let me tell you what we ought to do. We start with the top, then move it to the bottom. Let your dress hit the floor like your panties be dropping. Damn, you look good, girl, rocking the set, getting it wet. Correct me if I'm wrong so I can place my bet. This is the time of the night when your girls join in, cause I'm the type of motherfucker fucking you and your friend. East Coast to the west side, doing it all night. Take you one at a time, no need for a cat fight. The D-O-double-G-Y and the W-E-S-T. Oh, yes, it's Diva night, and she's feeling right. Oh, yes, it's Diva night, gonna get it tight. Oh, yes, it's Diva night, and she's feeling right. Oh, yes, it's Diva night, gonna get it time, get it in time.
Me and my girls out at the club, dancing all night long to the robot dog. Gotta be a rude, but I catch my eye. Super duper kind with a super sweet smile. Gotta get to know me in the right way. Turn up the Marley and pass the J. Looking so fine, listening to reggae. In your arms, I want to stay. I'm the queen, yeah, I'm a diva. Come too close, you'll catch a fever. My love spell on you, now you got amnesia.
Oh yes, it's Diva night, and she's feeling right. Oh yes, it's Diva night, gonna get it in time. Oh yes, it's Diva night, and she's feeling right. Oh yes, it's Diva night, gonna get it in time, get it in time.
We gave it to him one cut.
Me and my homies, we're tied it in the club. We chop a lot of game, is how we do it at the Players Club.
Jump the pool or kick it in the tub, cause we keep much ass at the Players Club.
I got a whole
Yeah. Knock on your door. Slum, Yeah. And Hope, California.
An introduction to the world. Yo, nitty, after years of production on the black hand side, hit me elaborations up the South Bay. Now they say we the ones that keep you swinging the drums. So here we come, yo, daytime, late night, always just right. Simply saucy, always bossy. Now you caught me, now you got me. Be careful what you wish for, cause what you get might be more than what you had in store. You wanna hit?
Said you wanted it.
Come on.
Well, this is what you get. The time of your life. The time of your life.
Back up, give us 15 feet for a breather. You know these beats quick to leave you. See ya, who rides smoking up the street, so you can't see which way we went, or where we been, or where we meet. We bumping out the radio. Won't be no peace once they play it though. Let's pray, folks. God keep us in health as we spread this here wealth. I couldn't have done it myself. Your whip has been kept to a hit.
You wanted it. Well, this is what you get. The ride of your life. The time of your life.
I know you ain't think I was gonna let you relax. Soon's the hook over, coming right back. Hollering at San Hope, fetish, let us intervene. Yo, nitty, the first of the scene. Mug me, heat. Who the problem? We quick to solve them. Should've seen them things straight from the guy. Cause these P's ain't playing. What I'm saying is true. Keep bumping these beats, don't let it happen to you. And make it.
We didn't have no radio. Swore we take that dough and go to church and save our souls. I know you did.
Why dog?
Why not? Cause it's real. You said you wanted it.
What they want.
Well, this is what you get. The time of your life. The ride of your life. You said you wanna hit.
What they want.
Well, a hit is what you get. The time of your life. The ride of your life.
You might be asking yourself, can you actually create high-quality live streams?
Where the Cone Valley, Northern part of Cali, young players, my buddies on things and rallies. Ribs and mallies, stack bread like Bill Gates. South Bay riders, nigga, 4-8. I'm from the city where you niggas might think you can. Where them sharks in the bay might eat you, man. We keep the bay bouncing, chronic by the ounces. Tell me what you gon' do when I blast the phone. Get low, get low. Tell me what you gon' do when you hit the flow. Get low, get low. Now tell me what you gon' do when you up and feel low. Get low, get low. Now tell me what you gon' do when you out saying ho. Get low, get low.
Nothing ain't easy, but somebody gotta do it. Might as well be me. I guess I get straight to it too. So what you could you do? You wanna? If I ask you, are you gonna hit the motherfucking corner? Bitch. Now I got to do my thing. Got them reminiscing like Mary J. Back in the day. It's all good, nigga. Ghetto, so it's all hood, nigga. Fetty like J. Paul Getty. I wish you would, nigga. The law got the homie jumping by why fences, senseless. That's why I stay up by my pimp. Start life music. Will you choose to play shit so you can use it, but don't abuse it. Dirty dead presidents, full of safety deposit box at my residence. Cause real players stack a grip, can't be hesitant. Maneuver on my cellular. 100, more profit on the regular.
So much for the Cone Valley, Northern part of Cali, young players, my buddies on things and rallies. Ribs and mallies, stack bread like Bill Gates. South Bay riders, nigga, 4-8. I'm from the city where you niggas might think you can. Where them sharks in the bay might eat you, man. We keep the bay bouncing, chronic by the ounces. Tell me what you gon' do when I blast the phone. Get low, get low. Tell me what you gon' do when you hit the flow. Get low, get low. Now tell me what you gon' do when you up and feel low. Get low, get low. Now tell me what you gon' do when you out saying ho. Get low, get low. K9 and Forte, keep it popping in the bay. Johnny West and D-Lo from San Jose to Field Mo. Everybody get low, it's the Funk Shack. And I'm the type of nigga to flip a bitch and tell her hit the track. Only fuck a real max, cause I'm in it for the scratch. It ain't matrimony, macaroni, make it extra cheesy like my nigga Forteezy. Pimpin' ain't easy, bitches don't think that fat meat greasy. Well it is, and I ain't taking care of your kids. I got some kids of my own, a wife at home, but she know that I'm a G, so she let her dog roam. I told you, when I met you, bitch, that all I wanna do was just sex you. Switch the game up. It ain't no thing, but this ain't no love song. My name ain't Ja Rule Fool, and when it comes to the skrill, niggas murder for real. Pussy niggas get got, shot up and killed, and bitches get stumped and smacked in the grill. Doing it way before the deal. I hope I live to touch a meal. I think I will. Fucking with these niggas on the hill, from the figgity field to the SJ, leaving niggas found floating face down in the bay. It's a lovely day. Down with rapping Forte. It's the pimp and the gangster Johnny West. I wanna thank you for hooking us up. Now they booking us up, and to the man upstairs just for looking us up. My life is dead to you. This is where the Cone Valley, Northern part of Cali, young players, my buddies on things and rallies. Ribs and mallies, stack bread like Bill Gates. South Bay riders, nigga, 4-8. I'm from the city where you niggas might think you can. Where them sharks in the bay might eat you, man. We keep the bay bouncing, chronic by the ounces. Tell me what you gon' do when I blast the phone. Get low, get low. Tell me what you gon' do when you hit the flow. Get low, get low. Now tell me what you gon' do when you up and feel low. Get low, get low. Now tell me what you gon' do when you out saying ho. Get low, get low.
D.O.G. coming out the bay, never be the fool to play. Don't be getting in my way, you can stay with no delay. On the toes is how we stay, on your back is how you lay. West Coast game will never fade. We be scheming and we constantly plotting. Star Life Entertainment, always rocking the potters. And know we ain't stopping until we're reaching the top. This West Coast flavor is what we drop. We still existing in this game. You in the presence of villains that's willing to kill it for real, and we feeling the cap. This is your don't hate, participate. We still exist, man.
Open the bottle, get a swig of ring. Crystal, Grandma, yeah, place to Philly. Some nostalgia, keep your composure, cause Johnny was the TG, already done told you. We getting bent like Cheech and Chong. Blazing on a fat bar, puffing on a bone, medallion dangling. Full scale Mac Mall, we living a life, do or die criminal tactics. We at this dog in practice. Sick of moving every one of you dirty bastards. Ass to push on the left hand side. AK9, Johnny West and Tilo G, ready to ride. Let's get high, let's get high, let's get high, let's get high. San Jose, all the way to film now.
This is where the Cone Valley, Northern part of Cali, young players, my buddies on things and rallies. Rips and Mally stack bread like Bill Gates. South Bay riders, nigga 4-8. I'm from the city where you niggas might think you can. Where them sharks in the bay might eat you, man. If you keep the bay bouncing, chronic by the ounces. Tell me what you gon' do when I blast the phone. Get low, get low. Tell me what you gon' do when you hit the flow. Get low, get low. Now tell me what you gon' do.
Me and my homies, we tied it in the club. We chop a lot of games, how we do it at the Players Club.
Jump the pool or kick it in the tub, cause we keep much ass at the Players Club.
I got a hoe named Real the Real. She got a buddy named SB12. Now you know the deal. We get freaky in the studio late night. That's why the beats that you hear coming real tight. Something to roll to, something to stroll to. If you's a player in the game, this'll hold you. More money for the bankroll. Stick to the script, don't slip in the 9-4. A lot of fools put salt in the game to where these women get the notion that they running the game. I run my own and I'm my own self person. No respect make the situation worsen. Feel more HP than Sunnydale. There's a Players Club everywhere you dwell. Lakeview, PH, and Orange Street. A different part of town, a different kind of freak. I just wiggle my toes on a mink rug and press play on remote at the Players Club. Me and my homies, we tied it in the club. We chop a lot of games, that's how we do it at the Players Club.
Jump the pool or kick it in the tub, cause we keep much ass at the Players Club.
More champagne, Mr. Forte.
From day one, I had to get my money right. Me flying Frankie J, we took an airplane flight. They wanted to hear rap. I said, I bet. We dropped the beat and grabbed a mic and then they wrote a check. A few G's for the pocket, no hesitation. Took a flight back to the Golden State and shops made orders from a whole new capital. The word was getting out, folks, Tay's out rappable. Don't need a Glock, but I bought one just in case. Something try to stop me from pursuing my paper chase. So the chase is on because it don't stop. I got the beat, I got the rap, you make the Glock pop. So treacherous, and suckers couldn't sweat this on a bad day. By the way, just in case you never heard of rapping folk say, I'm on a smooth tip. Never tripping on the suckers popping off the lip. I pop the top off the drink and we can roll some dank, bro. Leave the gat at the house, bring some dominoes. Kick off your shoes, relax and get a body rub. And shoot your mackin' at these women at the Players Club. Me and my homies, we tied it in the club. We chop a lot of games, that's how we do it at the Players Club.
Jump the pool or kick it in the tub, cause we keep much ass at the Players Club.
You can't resist it, but don't get it twisted. VIP, that means the number's not listed. Membership is based on clout and how you carry yourself. Now, homie, what you all about? I stack paper and kick it with the OGs. Some got a 9-to-5, some took a lot of keys. You can learn a whole lot from a player. A lot of these players make a damn good rhyme sayer. A lot of people get a misconception, start drifting in the wrong direction. Miss Goody Two-Shoe, I'll see you later. I ain't got time, you ain't nothing but a player hater. I'd rather kick it with the crew in Arizona. They chop game like we do in California. Another show, another flow, a new bank account. Where cash money comes in large amounts. So get your membership, but never slip the lane as fast, or else fly have to tap that ass and drop it to the ground and make your knees scrub. Just an everyday thing at the Players Club. Me and my homies, we tied it in the club. We chop a lot of games, that's how we do it in the Players Club.
Jump the pool or kick it in the tub, cause we keep much ass at the Players Club.
Me and my homies, we tied it in the club. We chop a lot of games, that's how we do it at the Players Club.
Jump the pool or kick it in the tub, cause we keep much ass at the Sucker Free Club.
Yeah, I like to send a shout out to all the Players Clubs throughout the world. I know they got a Players Club in Chicago. Man, what about that one they got in Philly, folks? You know they got one out there in Atlanta, the way they be chopping it.
You ain't said shit. Detroit, New York, Texas.
Yeah, but we gonna move on down to these Players Clubs closer to home, like Seattle, LA.
Bakersfield, San Diego, PA, V-Town, Richmond, Sacramento. Yeah, but a special shout goes out to them Players Club right across the water in the biggity O. Yeah, and last but definitely not least, yeah, them player clubs they got right there in the San Francisco motherfucking Bay.
When push comes to shove, I rush the herd, proclaim open season for cow tipping. If and when you'd like to address me, set the terms, and I'll be sure to burn thermonuke like your catalog ain't fireproof. It ain't suggested to test freshness, spawn from repressed aggression, and second guessing will get you gangplanked, Gomer. The defender of the zone of enders is hell bent on cinders fucking your faculty. This ain't a game and I'm not here to put up a shot block, and I'm sure as fuck not to be mocked or talked about. Cock boys to deploy the reserves and get this circle jerking on a work in progress. The axles with catalyst, protagonist, masochist, manuscript, maniacs gone mental, and the torment won't be accidental. The element of surprise personified, turning halos into bow ties. Meg abusive, the variable paired to no known coefficient, transition to span distances uncharted on a return flight from martyrdom. It appears that I've outsmarted them. Meg abusive, the variable paired to no known coefficient, transition to span distances uncharted on a return flight from martyrdom. It appears that I've outsmarted them. I'm tickled fuchsia that you should hold me in such high esteem. I mean, it's always been such a goal of mine to inspire sadistic daydreams, acting as if I can't infiltrate the mainstream just as I've been secluded with the Bay scene. I'm off the wriggle for shiggle, for shits and giggles, and it's a whole lot simpler than I make it look, little pickle. Get trumped and truncated, trying to play Mr. Educated. Flying by the seat of my pants, flipping the bird from a cockeyed cockpit with a dirt bomb and a smart rocket hovering above your neck. Project, the survival rate's expected to be non-existent. In closing, I'd just like to thank you for the invitation to gank you. Perhaps you ought to be more careful about the battles you provoke vocally. While we may never cross paths, don't get caught performing locally. Meg abusive, the variable paired to no known coefficient, transition to span distances uncharted on a return flight from martyrdom. It appears that I've outsmarted them. Meg abusive, the variable paired to no known coefficient, transition to span distances uncharted on a return flight from martyrdom. It appears that I've outsmarted them.
Hey, baby, come on. That's what you're putting down. Oh, baby, come on. I like what you're putting down. You know, baby, don't you wanna, baby, don't you want me around? I'm in love with that woman. Don't you know her name? I'm in love with that woman, y'all. Don't even know her name. But she keep on loving me, don't drive me insane. If you don't want me, baby, why don't you tell me so? If you don't want me, baby, why don't you tell me so? If you don't need me, why won't you let me go? If you were talking One day, we'll have a ticket. Ain't nobody different. Ain't nobody different when we do. There ain't nobody different, baby. Ain't nobody different. And we go to church all day Sunday. Come on and make love. Ain't nobody business. Ain't nobody business what we do. We know there ain't nobody business. You know there ain't nobody business what we do.
Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Ever told on a nigga? Nope. Ever squeezed a trigger? Yep. Ever set a nigga up? Nope. Ever helped a brother out when he was down on his luck? You a sap? Nope. You a boss player? You a Mac? Yep. Let me hold a couple dollars. Nope. Y'all still be popping y'all collars? Yep. Stock rims on the scrape? Nope. Paint wetter than a lake? Yep. Poodle in my blood? Nope. Bitch, I'm a thug? Yep. You a loser? Nope. Winner? Yep. Starving? Nope. Dinner? Yep. You still sell dope? Nope. Now you clean it in the bar Dove soap? Yep. Got a little Gouda? Nope. Got a thumper, got a Ruger? Yep. You in love with the hoe? Nope. She bringing you the dough? Yep. You gon' cry if she leave? Nope. You gon' fly overseas? Yep. Everybody got choices. I choose to get money, I'm stuck to this bread. Everybody got choices. These bitches is choosing, I'm all in their head. Everybody got choices. Keep it 1,000, I done liked it, I chose. Everybody got choices. These niggas be hating, I already know, but I never go broke. No, I'ma stay getting money. Yeah. And I ain't gotta sell my soul. No. I'ma stay getting money. Yeah. If you broke, you ain't like me. No. I'ma stay getting money. Yeah. I give a fuck if you don't like me. No. I'ma stay getting money. Yeah. Lazy? No. Got dick that'll drive a hoe crazy? Yep. Hater? No. Wanna see a player get paper? Yep. Traitor? No. Loyal to my soil, not a faker? Yep. Sleep? No. Bust moves, hella active in the streets? Yep. Scared of the dark? No. Have money, have heart? Yep. Nork? No. Shark? Yep. Gossip like a brawl? No. Check a bitch like a smog? Yep. Slipping? No. Tripping? Yep. Sober as a gopher? No. Hide in a roller coaster? Yep. Star Wars? No. Yoda? Yep. Never leave the house without my strap? No. Shoot a motherfucker in his nap? Yep. Never been a sucker or a pussy? No. Blowing cookie, never coughing like a rookie? Yep. Everybody got choices. I choose to get money, I'm stuck to this bread. Everybody got choices. These bitches is choosing, I'm all in their head. Everybody got choices.
Keep it 1,000, I done liked it, I chows. Everybody got choices. These niggas be hating, I already know, but I never go broke. No, I'ma stay getting money, yeah. And I ain't gotta sell my soul. No. I'ma stay getting money, yeah. If you broke, you ain't like me. No. I'ma stay getting money, yeah. I give a fuck if you don't like me. No. I'ma stay getting money, yeah. Was it love at first sight? No. Did she ride you like a bike? Yeah. Was it ripe? No. Was her pussy tight? Yeah. Got some property? No. Drive a Maserati? Yeah. You softer than a sock? No. You solid as a rock? Yeah. Slow? No. Trained to go? Yeah. Your team weak? No. You respected in the street knee? Yeah. Shallow? No. Didn't need? Yeah. Broke? No. Chin knee? Yeah. Not a BB or a pellet gun? No. But a long barrel bass drum? Yeah. If I get into it, walk right? No. I'ma give a nigga fair run? Yeah. Still live in the track? No. You ever go back? Yeah. Wear a wire and a camera? No. Ears to the scanner? Yep. Everybody got choices. I choose to get money, I'm stuck to this bread. Everybody got choices. These bitches is choosing, I'm all in their head. Everybody got choices. Keep it 1,000, I done liked it, I chows. Everybody got choices. These niggas be hating, I already know, but I never go broke. No. I'ma stay getting money, yeah. And I ain't gotta sell my soul. No. I'ma stay getting money, yeah. If you broke, you ain't like me. No. I'ma stay getting money, yeah. I give a fuck if you don't like me. No. I'ma stay getting money, yeah.
Monday morning, and I find myself missing you. And picturing you and your new lover, playing it cool, even though you tore my heart apart. I start my day just like any other day, and when the phone rings on the other end, you say, now I realize that I made the wrong move to take you back in my life. Girl, I can't see it coming through. Blame the rain for daydream. Remembering times we both knew we would regret. How we feel is not the issue, girl. What would you do if you were in my shoes? You insist on trying to find a way back into my heart. I was never one to take 2 steps back, and I'll never start. After all the changes you took me through, don't entertain the thought. I've got real strong advice, and I'd like to give it to you. Don't be lonely, you're not the only one who feels the way you do. Don't be lonely, you're not the only one whose heart's been broken too. I've got real strong advice, and I'd like to give it to you.
Yes, sir.
Man, I don't give a fuck if you sucking a penis or ducking subpoenas. You lucky to meet us. Respect is something that I earned as a fetus. You tried to burn and defeat us and question who is the cleanest. Take off that rap costume, we'll surely see who's the meanest. You try to come in between us, but this monster is grown. I'll show you the concept of war. Constantly on top of your property, stealing your throne. It's obvious you're a clone, dog. Throw you a bone raw. I actually kick it with the director who made the movie Saw. You kicking it with bitches who get you to buy him shit down at the mall. I'll touch 100 bras. You fought 100 brawls. Over chicks who ain't even fucked who have to wear wonder bras. I'll eat you in the flesh, defeat you in the booth. Speak to you in death, sprinkle you with truth. I just wanna hit him with a little bit of venom that'll get inside your motherfucking melted brain. Kung Fu vampire reignites the flame.
Shut up, yes, niggas will come your way. We're making our house to every club in town. Shut up, yes, niggas will come your way. We're making our house to every club in
Yeah,
town.
don't get it twisted off of an image you ain't used to seeing. I break you to pieces. Only one that be able to save you was Jesus. There's bullshit going on. I think you the reason. You niggas refuse to get it until I make you believe it. Now when I make new releases, I'm always peeping out the way you conceive it. You motherfuckers better take it or leave it. And ever since the game put me in a random position, I've had the ambition to beat you with my pants in the kitchen. I'm going mad and ballistic. Take a look at my fucking life. Grab the statistics. I've been like this way back in the distance. Rapping this sick shit on my own with a lack of assistance. You seem so eager. You niggas just need to back up and listen. You rappers with no skill don't deserve to get the fame. Shit's changed. It's like everyone's purpose is the same. My new purpose in the game's to keep Easy from turning in his grave until his name is permanently saved.
Shut up, yes, niggas will come your way. We're making our house to every club in town. Shut up, yes, niggas will come your way. We're making our house to every club in town.
So back to the matter, my faction is packed with gun splatter. You lack the right data. Oh, that's more brains that I scatter. Popsies pop up, put more on remains on a platter. Copycats sign up for combat, but they can't climb the ladder. This is the death of me, so tell the referee that it's my destiny to collect refugees and feed them ecstasy. You'll eat the recipe. My stepping is lyrical weaponry. I think you're best to be battling bitches that's having sex with me. Bitches that's having second guesses and questioning everyone. Are you filled with estrogen? All of my people, what's left of them, you pestering cause your poisonous method and got you effing and acting faster than acting to acting. Half of them laughing at just the rapping. Your only craft is networking on my space. I'm here to change the game, not to make it a fucking disgrace. Erasing your fucking mind. My chase is all you can taste. Kung Fu vampire and hops it in your face.
Shut up, yes, niggas will come your way. We're making our house to every club in town. Shut up, yes, niggas will come your way. We're making our house to every club in town.
They say the neon lights on right on Broadway. They say there's always magic in the air. But when you're walking down that street and you ain't had enough to eat, the flicker rubs right off and you're nowhere. They say the women treat you fine on Broadway, but looking at them just gives me the blues. 'Cause how you gonna make some time when all you got is one thing dime, and one thing dime won't even shine your shoes. They say that I won't last too long on Broadway. I'll catch a Greyhound bus for home, they all say. But they're dead wrong, I know they are, 'cause I can play this here guitar, and I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. I won't quit till I'm a star on Broadway. No, 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 no. I'm gonna get this, I'm a star. 'Cause I know I can now. trees, nigga green, purple, and orange. Couldn't keep a bowl of kush that look like some Lucky Charms and scrapers and then business. Hot boxing with all my friends. Eyes bloodshot, my bloodshot, the lenses. Coming fresh out of Kush coma, it's boss a lady with a bag of kush and 2 bitches in polka dot bikini. With a rolling kush, the OG. Split the spice, OG1, Kano B. I hold D, smoking my chest and keep it in. Treated like a stick of doing, shining the pen. And when I laid it out, my cranium soaking the game in. No shame, nigga, I'm high in the soul plane. Eyes lost, shining like diamonds on your chain. Real talking, Fetty Chico, smoke like a soul train, nigga. Smoking zips and pounds, getting hot in the motherfucker and never coming down. I'm high as fuck, and I'm never coming down. I'm never coming down. Never coming down. I'm high as fuck, and I'm never coming down.
See me in the clouds, puffing all loud pounds, bound, break it down, crumble. Tally dubs around me, saliva bubbles. I'm doubting that I'm arriving on time to whatever's coming. It's the sativa and indica blend in my bubble like a plane. Take a pump again, stay on the level, keep your lane out the circle. And if it's easy, then please proceed to the back and take your seats in your stubble. Nice, right, strike, we smoke neon hydro. I ain't a white boy blowing, it's got me gone. I gotta get right, man, I got shit to do. This money gon' make itself a man. This shit I got police, they got me spitting true. One hit and watch me instead. Approach the levels only read about tablets from the founders of it. I'll smoke you out and have you out on the bed. Fucking with me and have you high as fuck, cotton out with eyes in the red. Bitch, yeah.
I'm high as fuck, and I'm never coming down. I'm never coming down. Never coming down. I'm high as fuck, and I'm never coming down.
Pass another blunt of that good shit, the one that makes you cruise like a cruise ship, blazing up and take a tow. Man, the way we smoking the shit up, keep it lit up like
oh my god!
Get it ready for the kid.
Oh my god!
I keep my hand on the nine, I keep my hand on the spit.
We're holding it, you gotta pass it back. I'd rather rap it track.
That's the way you like it. You gotta keep it pushing through the pain and strife. I came from the bottom, now I'm at the top.
So let the weed blow. THC, the edible treats, bro. No stints and seeds, though. Give me that medical, roll it up. I got what you need, bro.
I'm high as fuck, and I'm never coming down. I'm never coming down. Never coming down. I'm high as fuck, and I'm never coming down.
Oh, hey, baby.
Oh, yeah?
Let me take you to Xanadu.
Oh, where is that?
Behind the groove.
Well, alright.
There's another side inside of you. You can make your wildest dreams take you to Xanadu. You can put away your masquerade. You won't ever have to be afraid. Get on up and shake your body. Up and take the music in. You better get on up. Come to the party. Life is waiting for you to begin. Open your eyes and see what's in store. I must be the one you're searching for. Get behind the groove. Why don't you let your spirit play? Another me and another you. If we make it through to Xanadu. You are to flow with me. Shake it on down, shake it on up. Shake. Shake it on up, shake it on down, shake it on up. Shake it on up, shake it on down, shake it on up. Shake it on up, shake it on down, shake it on up. Shake la la la. Everybody sing la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Keep driving you crazy?
Ready to go. Over here. I see you looking at me, looking at me. So I ask, am I a psycho? Am I a psycho? Yeah, I'm a psycho. I guess I'm a psycho.
You're crazy. I like you, but you're crazy. My choice paid me, so I use that dough to allure ladies, to manure bathe me.
Never that my mind's for sure shady. Pure Hades, Rev Xfinity couldn't endure to save me. Why do I let this stripper burn me on my arm with a cigarette in the same spot 10 times on a road when I feel that burn upon the clitoris? I'ma get her wet. Sorry to get carried away. I feel stupid because I ain't bitter yet. Maybe she never look at a fine nigga. Sweat on her breast, I get vexed, so I ain't bitter neck. Open, I try to contain it, but that bang thing soaking. Alter ego say why you let them gang bang folk in. Strange lane, hoping I can maintain coping, but ain't nobody talking when the insane main spoken.
I like fire on my skin, blood on my drawers from up on the walls. I'm suffering, I'm stuck in the car, stuffed in her jaws, huffing and puffing, hollering on my dog. Afterwards, I like really hot, scalding water on my balls.
Am I a psycho? Am I a psycho? Yeah, I'm a psycho. I guess I'm a psycho.
Mom, Dad, I'm no longer the boy you used to see. I've changed a lot, plus I've grown to hate every human being. My mood swings have now turned my dreams into gruesome scenes. Now I'm doing things I don't normally do, and illusions seem to be the only pleasures I can gain. Heck, if I was sane, I would have put down the mic and said, fuck it, I'll never rise to fame. But with the wicked record I contain, I could probably jeopardize your name. No lovey-dovey, let's ignite the flame. If you're lucky, you survive the pain. Sorry, that ain't very merry to say. Why is this game so scary to play? Well, let me think, cause every day my balls are getting too hairy to shave. Pause a minute, I'm stressing the game. If I go to hell, then heaven's to blame. I don't mean to come off crazy, but you motherfuckers seem to think I'm hella deranged. When I was 7 years old, I fell on my head and I severed my brain. You think I'm lying? Then ask my mama, nigga, she gon' tell you the same. Should I be ashamed? No, I'm living my life so ghetto fabulous. Before you get bent out of shape, my nigga, let me ask you this.
Am I a psycho? Am I a psycho? Yeah, I'm a psycho. I guess I'm a psycho.
I
stab you with this mic and rap this verse I'm rapping to you. Matter of fact, I'm rapping through you. Never say my motherfucking name unless you absolutely have to. I am not no fucking jacket with no matching shoes, and you are not no fashion guru. Can't even see you niggas, y'all wish I was rapping to you. Matter of fact, act like I'm rapping to you. If that gives you passion to use it as an excuse, then just jump up at a conclusion that I'm attacking you dudes. It's just like old-fashioned voodoo. Y'all ain't even the shit. No, y'all ain't even the doo-doo. I got more flavor on the tissue paper under my tubes, so I'm slapping you foolish with wooden paddles, you stupid. Babysitting little bastards like little afternoon children. You could call me psychotic, but it's more like schizophrenic, and I can sleep. Could anyone tell me just where my medicine is? Guess I gotta show these minors just where my avenue is. Man, I swear I'm all about my brain like graduate students. Yeah.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
Yeah, girl, you know I really want what's in them jeans.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
You can ride with me and take a trip up overseas. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, TWD, why the whole damn, yeah, y'all put a chick on robot. I'm so Mac Dre, I got my air code locked. I'm so far away, I took a trip down that coastline, that Frisco Bay. I pulled up at the dock, ran script on the chick, she fell in love on the spot. I got to get the gab and the swag with the bag. I'm talking about the income that you rich and really have. I started talking fast and she started going digital. Yeah, I'm from the big city, she got silicone too. Bill Gates' backyard, I'm a fucking rap star, and I go 100 yards like my new rap off.
I'm the king of here like you really want. On my tab is whatever you
Ride with me and take the trip up overseas. Yeah, stunt man means outstunt everybody. I'm on the dance floor, grooving at a gangster party. Start a soul train line, I'm about to lose my mind. I push it to the limit every goddamn time. Yeah, I call shots like a ref. In the kitchen cooking up a batch, 5-star chef. I'm the plug to connect. Took a book around to the bank and left with a check. Yeah, hey, I make moves with the boss, call me Capo. Lifestyle I'm living like a new. Hit the lotto, flip through the channel, every channel I'ma pop on. Boogie money made off, I get my ride on, ride on.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
Yeah, girl, you know I really want what's in them jeans.
Boy, tell me what you really want from me.
You can ride with me and take the trip up overseas.
feeling it? Stickums. I'm a whole nother species rolling up the queue. Blowing up the spot when I touch down, believe me. Frank about bank like I was a Chase VP. Young Ace Boogie made off with the cheese beans. VIP, me and B with a 5-piece. Goon team with the moonbeams on the side piece. News team watch the boy move with a few things. Gamma 5 Gamma with a bad mamma jammer. Keep cash on hand, get my hopes out the slammer. Wrist rock like a band, you can call it Steel Panther. This the hottie anthem, get the party amped up. Mommy got body like a pin-up calendar.